Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I'm Jason. We're back with Zack. What's up?
What up, dog?
Another fighter spotlight. We're talking another special fighter spotlight. We're talking to Aislinn O'Connell about her upcoming super fight this Saturday for the Proving Ground Invitational at the Maverick Center. Aislinn, how you doing?
Doing good. I'm doing good today. So, yeah.
Good.
I was super excited for this podcast because I'm super excited about your guys' match, your and Amy's match in general. So thank you for joining us.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited for the match. It'll be fun. You know, she's really good at, so it should be cool. You know.
Well, I'm sure you're really good too if you're being invited to come and compete against her.
Yes, I suppose so. I guess consider that. I don't know.
I'm all right.
I'm all right.
So for people that don't know you and stuff, how long have you been training? Like, what got you into jiu-jitsu? Like, kind of give people your backstory a little bit.
I've been training for 4.5 years now, which honestly, I don't, after I think about it, it's not too long, but what got me into jiu-jitsu is it's not that, I watched a Conor McGregor video. Honestly, I looked him up because I had no idea who he was. And then I saw some MMA videos and I thought, that looks kind of cool. I was pretty scared. I was like, I don't know. So I was going to do striking, but there's no striking gyms in my area that are
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why.
Where do you live?
I live outside of Seattle, up north, 20 minutes, kind of 15, 20 minutes.
Really? There's not anything up there?
There's not a lot. I also started when I was 16 and I wasn't willing to drive 30, 45 minutes yet. So
yeah.
I tried jiu-jitsu and I was pretty terrified, honestly, but I really liked it. I started going. I was scared for the first 3 months. I'm pretty shy. So that was a big step for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my story.
Sticking to it.
Yeah.
So is it something that maybe now you have some, you're a little bit older, some jiu-jitsu competition experience? Would you ever consider transitioning over to MMA a little bit?
I don't know. I've done combat jiu-jitsu once. That was intense. I don't train a lot of striking. So getting hit is not something I am used to. Yeah. Initially, when I did start, I was thinking okay, I want to do MMA. But now after I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a while, maybe. I mean, I think it'd be fun to learn striking just to be a well-rounded martial artist. But yeah. So I'm not sure.
Here's the move then. Go join a taekwondo school.
Okay.
And then just model your game after Ryan Hall.
Perfect. I'll just study Ryan Hall and
yeah.
Okay. I'll think about it.
Leg locks, do a lot of jiu-jitsu because it's that in-out motion. And then instead of the in-out, you just Eminari roll and boom, you're there.
I could try. My Eminari roll does need work, actually. So I could work on it. So.
There you go.
So, Aislinn, have you and Amy ever ran into each other in the jiu-jitsu any tournaments or anything?
Well, we were both at ADCC trials. I didn't actually have a match against her though. I made it. I got a heel hook and it didn't. The lady didn't tap, and then I lost my faith, and I was like, so yeah. So that's where that's the tournament that we could have ran into each other, but that was my first ADCC trial, so I was really nervous. I'm not gonna lie. So it was fun though. It was a really good matches and stuff. So it was fun.
That's good. How often do you compete?
I kind of go in waves. I'll compete, do a couple tournaments, and then I'll stop. I guess I compete. How often? Probably 10 times a year, maybe.
That's sometimes, a lot.
I feel like it is, but sometimes I feel like I don't compete that often. So, yeah. I need my breaks because I get tired of watching my weight or, preparing. So I think right now I'm going to take some time, probably a month off. Just, so.
What goes into...
For the record, Carl, yes, I know what an Eminari roll. It's the little sushi rolls that you get at Sushi Monster. It's delicious.
Aislinn, what goes into your preparation for this? How far out do you start getting ready for this tournament, for this fight this Saturday?
Well, I think when did I learn that I was going to do this match? Maybe a month out. So, I start kind of prepping, when I hear about it. I'd probably start prepping, a month or 6 weeks out or whatever time. Because I guess jiu-jitsu matches, I usually find, I find out about them, 2 3 weeks beforehand. So that's my prep period. I train like every day anyway. So then it's just kind of tailoring my training. I train with one of my like training partners. He'll like run my training camps for me. So
nice.
I don't have to put a lot of thought into it. I just have to show up. So that's really nice. His name Duck Jitsu. He does tons of jiu-jitsu tournaments. So he's the guy that really helps me with all my preparation.
What's your favorite submission? Like, what's your go-to?
I really like the rear naked choke. I just, plain and simple rear naked. If I can get that, yeah, I just like sinking that one in. That one's fun. I mean, if I can get a heel hook, like a good heel hook like that feels pretty good too. But
you like tearing people's knees apart?
Absolutely. Who doesn't? That's terrible. No, I don't. They usually tap before that. So, or sometimes they don't. And then it's kind of gross, but yeah. I haven't injured someone super seriously, I think. Maybe the ADCC trials lady who didn't tap, but.
Oh, oops. Sorry, not
tap.
sorry.
I lost the match, at least I got, at least I somewhat hurt her, got a little, yeah, but it's okay. He was super nice. That sounds terrible. But yeah.
So do you do any studying up on your opponent, like an Amy, or do you watch some of her matches to kind of see what she's doing in her matches? I'm new to the jiu-jitsu world, so that's the reason I'm kind of getting a little more in depth with some of these questions.
If I watch the matches, I honestly get kind of stressed out. So I just have my teammate Austin, or aka Duck Jitsu. He does it for me. That's on. They all have their weird Instagram names. So
yeah,
it's just necessary for jiu-jitsu. But yeah, I do study my opponents, especially like if I have a single match, I'll study my opponent. But if it's like a tournament, it's more so like working on my own skills because I can't really I don't know who I'm going to get and then how far am I going to go. So it's kind of a mix of like studying and then just focusing on my weak points or what do I want to work on and all that stuff.
Cool. So when you're not jujitsuing and nerding out over jujitsu like we all do, what do you do with the rest of your day? I
go to school. So I'm in college right now. So that's what I do. Or I work for my aunt, but that's like once a week, once or twice a week. So that's pretty chill. So yeah.
Where do you go to school? Where do you go to school for?
I'm going to school for computer science. I'm going to school. It's like University of Washington. They have some like satellite campuses.
Yeah.
So I'm going to like one that's like really close to my house for.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Sounds better for your brain cells than an MMA career, to be honest.
Yeah. I need to, Seattle's expensive. I kind of like living here. So I'm trying to figure out how to afford that. And, I have free time with going to school, but it's not, it's tough sometimes. But I've taken a lot of credits because I did like college early, like when I was 16, since I didn't I went to community college. So I had a ton of free time. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. I had a ton of free time. I did jiu-jitsu, so school. I already have a lot of credits, so I just kind of slow off my degree right now. So,
do your friends know that you could strangle them and kill them?
All my friends do jiu-jitsu because I have no friends my age. They're all 20, 25-year-old men that I train with. More like 25 to 30. Yeah. So that's my friend group. Yeah. So yeah, I guess
we have a guy at our gym. He's like 22, 23 now, but when I first met him, he was just out of high school. He's a brown belt now, but he was like a really good blue belt / like maybe purple belt when I met him.
Yeah.
And none of his friends knew that he did jiu-jitsu.
That's kind of funny.
And then one day, a kid on the football team in high school, he talked about how he strangled him, and everybody was like, "What was that?" Like the guy took him down, and he just wrapped up a guillotine and just put him out. They're like, "What was that?" And he's like, "I don't know." He didn't tell him, but I'm like, so none of his friends know that he's like an absolute killer on the mat.
That is pretty keeping things from your friends. That probably took a lot of time to train. I guess I go to school and I hang out with I don't really hang out with people outside of school. And
yeah, do they know you're going to you're traveling to other states and competing with people from all across the world and stuff?
Do the professors know?
Sometimes when I have to miss class, I might message them. One time I went down to, I did combat jiu-jitsu worlds down in Mexico, and it was like right during finals week for one of my quarters, and I had to like push off a written exam. So I like came into the exam with like a black eye, and I was like, oh, hey.
Maybe you should cool. Let them know, be like, hey, I need an A. I'm going to strangle you.
Yeah.
Sure, I could threaten them. I'm sure that would get me very far.
Have you competed inside of a cage before? Is this going to be your first time inside the cage?
Yes, this will be my first time inside a cage. I think I did boxing ring once, but that was a long time ago. But yeah, this will be my first time inside the cage. So, thinking about like the wall work and stuff.
That was my next question is how do you feel about that and takedowns and being up against the cage?
I've done like a couple like rounds just so I understand like where, like we have mats against the wall, so I can do that. I train with guys and like they do MMA or other things. So they've been, I'll do some rounds there just so I at least understand what's going on and like what my goals are. I'm like, okay, I don't want like my neck like pressed up against the cage, or I want to stand up and things like that. But I've done like a couple rounds there. So I'm not going to be a master, but maybe if I know a little bit of what to expect, I should hopefully be better off,
Awesome. Nice. Well, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to? Tell people how to get tickets, pay-per-view.
Oh.
I put the link down there, so we'll just have everybody go to the link. FierceFightingChampionship.com. If you can't make it, since she's in the Seattle area, you can go to our website and click on the pay-per-view, and you'll be able to watch Aislinn compete.
Perfect. I think I'll give a shout out to my coach, essentially Duck_Jitsu. He's really good. He just started a YouTube channel. You should definitely check that out.
And then I want to check it out.
I want to give a big shout out to Gaidama. They sent me some free gear, so I'll be wearing that for my match. So yeah. Awesome. And then check out the pay-per-view. I'll definitely tell my family, they will be interested. So
awesome. Proving Grounds Invitational, June 25th, this Saturday at the Maverick Center. Tune in. This is going to be freaking awesome. We're excited to see you down here, Aislinn.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
We are out.